Hello my friends, so I welcome you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator to this session. And in today's session, I have channeled the Pleiadians in order to query about the things which were recently asked on my community post. And the thing is, this channeling session is actually very interesting in that it will reveal to you certain things which are already happening, but maybe we are not yet fully aware that they are happening. Okay, so the queries which I have asked in this session primarily pertain to the August energy update and the looking glass event number 5. So we already know about we have been doing energy updates every month, and also I have been asking for the looking glass events because as far as I have known, they have said that the looking glass artifact is a type of device which can allow us to look into the future. And what they are doing is they are giving us information of certain events which may happen in the future, so we can prevent them. If we are conscious enough, the negative entities, they may not perform those negative events, right? So I think it's a great way to allow us to prepare for what may happen. And if we become aware enough, if people become more aware, that thing may not happen in the future. So that's the type of session we have today, which discusses about the August energy update as well as the looking glass event number 5. And the second thing that I asked about was about when will the new earth currency start to be used on earth. So as far as I remember, I had channeled a few days back about the new earth currency, and what they had said is that the new earth currency primarily will be our own consciousness, right? Our attention, consciousness, awareness. There are many names for that thing, but that's the basic thing that will be used in the new earth. That's what they have said. And I have to tell you, in this session they have actually described how the new earth currency is actually, when it will be fully used, and what's the current status of new earth currency. So when will the new earth currency be used in our planet is discussed in the session. So let me tell you, also in the session I found really interesting was they talk about something known as the archetypal mind. Now actually I had never heard about this stuff before, about the archetypal mind. Okay, so they talk about the archetypal mind and the tree of mind, which I found very interesting. I have no idea what they were talking about, but as far as I understood from the session, I'll give you an explanation towards the end of the video what I understood from the from my understanding. Okay. And the basic thing that they have talked about in this session is actually this session may be considered very important because many people they don't realize that these things are already happening, and it may be considered as an urgent information to relay to humanity. So without much further ado, here is the session, my friends. And before the session begins, I would be really grateful if you could like the video, as it helps to reach out to people who need it at this time. So here's the session.
We Pleiadians now communicate and are now communicating from our location in the Pleiades star system, known by your people at this time, for providing information and guidance to this instrument's mind-body complex for its desires to understand certain aspects about the queries which have been placed today. The queries in the mind complex of this instrument pertain to certain understandings of the lessons of experiences of space-time in this reality, experience of choosing the type of thought form which shall be beneficial for the evolution of the self of each mind, body, and spirit complex in this societal human collective consciousness. We are now going to transmit the information, but remember to use your discernment to preserve your own vibration, and the choice of free will resides within your own self, which is the greatest choice which must be made by each mind complex. Furthermore, there will be free will preservation if we do so. Each entity who shall listen to this has the free will to accept or to reject this communication. We communicate now using the vibrations sequences known as the language of your planet. The first query, which pertains to the occurrence of August energy update, we must state that the energies of August shall be an interplay of both the types of vibrations emanating from both the negatively polarized entities as well as the positively polarized entities. As this type of choice relies upon each entity on the Earth planet who decides either to give the power of consciousness, which is the greatest power, to pay attention to either the negative happenings which shall happen in the month of August, or to focus attention on the positive happenings which will occur in the month of August as well. These happenings can be defined by the choice and the power of potential which each mind, body, and spirit complex and human collective shall support, and pay attention to such focus will provide required energies for subsystems to operate in the month of August, as far as we are allowed to share with regards to the timeline in which you find yourself in. You have the opportunity in this timeline to realign and to realize the aspects of the self, and you have the ability to retain a greater understanding of the vibrations of your conscious choice. For the only free will which you have is the free will to give your consciousness to either your egoic mind or to give your consciousness to the beingness with the one infinite creator, which can be accessed via the silence of the self. This choice will be made by each entity in the month of August, for there are events which will happen on your planet, leading to creation of more consciousness, attention towards certain aspects of discoveries which relates to the extraterrestrials as known by your people. And such information, if pondered upon by each mind, body, and spirit complex, has the ability of tackling the consciousness disparity of the space-time. Furthermore, the month of August will provide a great choice for each mind, body, and spirit complex to either choose to stay with the workings of the ego mind, which is the part of the archetypal mind which operates in the basic terms of giving each entity the types of experience and also the choice, since you now have the choice to choose between the ego mind. If you so desire it, you can also take your attention completely away from it and focus on the silence within yourself. Each of you must remember the process and the progress in this timeline is much of a great nature which will guide you throughout the incarnation timelines and provide you with experiences of a great nature of reality. Therefore, we, the Pleiadians, must now share the information related with the Looking Glass event as requested by this instruments pertaining to the event number 5. The Looking Glass artifact displays an event in the period of around August 26, wherein the Sun logos, which created the basic reality for your mind, body, and spirit complex to operate with the fundamental portion of the mind complex known as the Archetypal Mind, which is a part and parcel of your deep unconscious portions, and this portion is the giver and definer of the tree of mind, which contains the types of nature and the understanding for the guidance of evolution and the blueprint for the evolving mind, body, and spirit complex on the Earth planet. Therefore, these are the archetypes which are refined by the Sun logos of your galactic system is unity, and primarily because of the Sun logos shows each one of you having the choice to either subdue your mind complex completely, focusing on greater connection with the infinite creator which lies within the self, as there are many entities upon the Earth planet who have chosen the pathway of focusing within the self completely in the silence, entering into the present moment's domain, which provides a great archetypal blueprint for evolution into the fourth density and higher levels of consciousness. However, the so-called negatively polarized entities of Orion star system are currently located inside the Mars planet as per the Looking Glass, are going to infiltrate the Sun logos of your galactic system and will try to create the so-called destruction of the Sun logos archetypal subsystems. This means that if they succeed in doing this, there will be a choice of choosing between the egoic mind and the silence of the one creator. If things are successful in doing this change of the archetypal mind tree of the mind complex by entering the Sun logos, there will be a change in the blueprint and the map of relationship between the conscious and the subconscious and the unconscious portions of the mind, leading to a lack of ability of the people of your planet to stay detached from the egoic self. This will, if they succeed, give rise to a mind complex of more negatively orientation, as attachments with the negative portions of the mind signifies attachments with the egoic portions of the bodily, mind, body, and spirit complex. Hence, the best way to prevent such happenings is to firstly become conscious of this and to spread the message to as many mind, body, and spirit complexes of your planet, so that the consciousness becomes aware and this plan is stopped. We are now going to address the other query, which relates with when will the new earth currency, which is that of consciousness, be used upon your planet as requested by this instrument. We must state that the new earth currency of your planet will be used when your planetary system fully changes towards a consciousness-based society. Furthermore, we the Pleiadians, upon scanning your vibrations, have already noticed that the people of your planet are already using this currency indirectly. Many of your mind, body, spirit complexes may not realize that they are doing this. Whenever an entity brings forth attention of other mind, body, and spirit consciousness, that is the power of the consciousness currency which is being used. And such entities may be found in many of your so-called social media platforms, who design and create certain aspects known as audiovisual presentation, which garner attention of other mind, body, spirit complexes of your planet. In turn, they try and create subsystems of revenue from such attention by selling certain products or items to such mind, body, and spirit complexes who have given their attention to them. Therefore, we must state that this currency has already started to take hold of your planetary vibration, as the currency of attention will be the greatest currency for the people of the planet. If they are able to use this currency and recognize the value of consciousness, soon they will find their society changing towards a new consciousness-based currency system by the time of the year 2100. However, this is an estimation, as your people have the choice to make certain choices. And we, the Pleiadians, now leave you, beloveds. Bye.
So my friends, after watching the session, I hope you have gained some understanding about what actually is going to happen in August. Okay, basically what I understood is that they have said in the month of August, humanity will have the choice of either using our free will to choose to stay with the Creator, okay, or to choose to give attention to our egoic mind. Because we already know that our egoic mind is this type of mind which usually operates on the level of language and images. Okay, so it uses language and images in the mind, and it creates some distortions in our understanding of the lessons that are happening in our planet. And we have the choice to either give our attention or our consciousness to the Creator, which can be found from the silence of the self, as we already know from many of the sessions, right? And then some people, they have the choice to either stick to the egoic self and decide that they want to stay with the egoic mind activity, and they can do that. It's their own free will, right? So basically that's what they have said in the session, as far as I remember. And the other thing that I remember from the Looking Glass event number 5, they said in 26th August, the negative entities, they are trying to plan to enter the sun. So our sun, as far as I understand, is actually the one who has laid the basic framework for our galaxy, right? Our Milky Way galaxy and our planet, and our mind, the tree of the mind is created by our sun, which is the Logos, as known by the Pleiadians. And it is responsible for creating the basic framework of our mind, of our subconscious, unconscious, superconscious mind, and give us the opportunity. Currently, as far as I understand, what they said is we have the free will to choose between we can actually completely shut out the ego mind, okay, right now, since the archetype of the Logos is such that if you decide to just switch off the ego mind, we will live in complete bliss, like many people, they do that, and it will be a much faster graduation into higher levels, right? And then what the Orions and what the negative beings, they're trying to do is they're trying to enter the sun, and they're trying to change the the archetypal blueprints. So what that basically means is that there will be certain changes which will happen in the blueprint area, meaning that there may be certain types of what can we say is certain types of thought forms which will be changed, I believe. Okay, so I believe if they are able to do that, what will happen is that our mind will not be able to choose between the ego mind or our silence. Okay, so it will have to be ego mind, right? So if they do the change, so thankfully if we can make this video reach out to more people, and I hope I am doing my work properly to help it to spread out to people. If more people become aware, they may not do that, okay, because this is how it works, right? So we can stop this. And the other thing is, I want to talk about what they have said is the New Earth currency, right? The New Earth currency, it's very fascinating. What they have said is the New Earth currency actually is currently also being used in our planet, and we may not be aware that it is, okay? Actually, what they've said is New Earth currency basically is like your attention. Whenever you invite attention from other people's consciousness, you are using the New Earth currency. So I believe people, everyone is doing that. We use social media, we have other means of inviting attention, right? And I believe this is already happening, but people don't see it, right? People don't realize that this is happening. That people are already using the New Earth currency. It's being used indirectly, okay? And then what they have said is around 100 years later, there may be complete use of the New Earth currency. So the old currency systems may just fail, right? So the other thing that they have said in this session is, that's all. That is all they have said in the session, my friends. So before I end the session, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for sending me requests for your soul purpose, your soul name, and your past life evolution cycle. I will help you channel. If you want to find that about yourself, you can send an email over here, and when I get free time, I will definitely help you out. And the other thing is, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for downloading the free PDF, okay, which is available below. It has been updated recently till the month of July sessions, and thank you to my friend Anil for doing that, okay. And the other thing is, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon, where I'm uploading some uncensored sessions and other things which I cannot talk about, okay. And I'm also doing meditations, Q&A. If you want to dive in deep, join me on my Patreon. And the last thing is, I just want to say big thank you to all of you for supporting me and liking the video. And you may like to watch this video next, so enjoy. See you in the next session.